Well, welcome everyone. I am Alma Jones, president of the Rotary Club of Naperville, and we begin our meeting every week with a hearty ring of the bell. So welcome. Glad you're with us today. I'm honored to present the Rotary Salutes Veterans Program today. This is a day to honor service. Our Rotary motto is service above self. And there are 1.2 million Rotarians doing good around the world right now. So it is fitting that we honor the veterans who are with us today, who have also exhibited service above self by serving in the military of our great nation, helping to preserve our freedoms. It was an honor to accompany the Quilts of Valor Foundation Land of Lincoln chapter representatives over the last few weeks as the quilts were awarded to these veterans. Good afternoon. I'm Alma Jones, and I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Naperville, and I'm honored to be here with all of you, and I'm especially honored to be here today to present Hugh Boger with a Quilt of Valor. And with us today is Jane Reiches from the Quilts of Valor Foundation and Mr. Dick Galitz, past district governor of Rotary, District 6450, and a member of the Rotary Club of Naperville. And Nina Menace, who is our camerawoman today, is a past president of the Rotary Club of Naperville. So I would like to let you know that our motto in Rotary is service above self, and it really is the highest degree of service that you have exhibited with service to our country, and so we believe that we really are aligned in our values in that regard, and so we just really seriously thank you for your service to our country. And with that, as we celebrate together, I'm going to ask if Mr. Dick Galitz would like to say a few words about why we're here today as well, and then introduce Jane Reiches. So take it away, Dick.
You obviously, you served our nation and ended up as a master sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps. What's the one famous statement that most Marines would say at any time, any place?
Well, we have one that we can't say in front of kids and family. The other is Semper Fi.
Which means?
Always faithful to God, country, and Corps.
Amen. So thank you for your service. And today we are going to be honoring you with the Quilt of Valor. And with that, I would like to introduce Jane, if you would. Now's a good time to present
Absolutely.
a Quilt of Valor.
Great. May I come closer? Sure. This is Quilt of Valor, given in gratitude for your sacrifice and service. The price of freedom is high, and it is our mission to recognize and honor all those who have paid that price. So on behalf of the Land of Lincoln chapter of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, it's my privilege to cover you with your Quilt of Valor, which I will do right now. Thank you for your bravery, your service, your sacrifice, and your dedication to our nation's freedoms. Thank you. Thank you. Your quilt does have a label with your name and those couple individuals who have helped create this for you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now when I speak,
Please.
it's very humbling. You know, as you say, a service above self. It's always very humbling when somebody recognizes my military service, because as I look back on it, I think I got so much more out of it than I gave. You know, when I was in high school, I wasn't sure where I was going to go. Frankly, I wasn't even sure I knew who I was. but the Marine Corps taught me quite a bit about what I can become and about what it means to serve others. And that's carried over in the education profession as well. And so I just want to give credit to the United States Marine Corps and obviously my family here today, who have supported me in my continued service as an educator. But I also want to say that if it wasn't for the Marine Corps, I wouldn't be the person I was today, and I wouldn't be blessed with such a wonderful family. And so really, although it's a service above self, I'm very thankful for the United States Marine Corps and for what they did for me. And I only hope that in my education profession that I can give that back so the military service continues to be a viable option for kids today.
Would you care to take off your mask and give the audience a big fat smile?
Well, now, since I retired from the Marine Corps, I'm about tired of big fat. I sure would. Okay. Thank you. I'm honored and humbled.
Thank you. We are honored and privileged to be here today. And on behalf of the 115 members of the Rotary Club of Naperville and a very grateful country, we honor you and we thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
Taking up a lot more of your time than intended, but this is really important, and I know that you know that, and so I know that you have met these distinguished folks, but I will introduce them again. We have over here Mr. Dick Galitz, who is a Rotarian and member of the Rotary Club of Naperville, and also a past district governor with District 6450 in Rotary. So in short, Dick Galitz is a pretty big deal.
Wow, that's amazing.
So we're very pleased to have him here, and is also a veteran, by the way, which also makes him a big deal.
Nice.
So we're pleased to have Dick with us, and then Susie Wing.
And importantly, I'm chairman of the Rotary Salute Veterans.
Well, of course, absolutely. That brings it down to one of the biggest reasons that Dick is here. So the program is called RSVP, short for Rotary Salutes Veterans Program.
Nice.
And that is exactly what we do at Rotary. Our Rotary Club has always been very appreciative of our military, our veterans, and it's really become a tradition for us to salute veterans each year. In normal years, it would be November, the week of Veterans Day, and we moved this forward into May because Dick and I both were fully in belief that May was going to be normal. Well, here we are, and so it's our new normal, right?
Right.
But it doesn't matter what time of the year. It's all year long is a time to say thank you to our veterans and to thank you for the freedoms that we have that we wouldn't have otherwise. So I want you to know how proud we are to be able to be here today, how proud we are to partner with Susie Wing with Quilts of Valor. And I'm going to let Dick say a few words and in introduction of Susie and a few words as Dick Galitz and as chair of this program and as a veteran and in your position in Rotary. So Dick.
Well, as you well know, Rob, veterans do so much for our great nation, and so often get forgotten. All of the sacrifice that's done from that first time that we go into boot camp, and some wonderful drill sergeant reminds us that we are hardly anything, and then build us into real men and women, and turn us into people that operate as excuse the expression, but it is a fighting machine to serve our nation and to protect all of the values of freedom that we so much as the great nation of the United States of America value and those around the world value. And these wonderful women called the Quilts of Valor organization, represented by Susie Wing and hundreds of others, spend their own personal time and energy making beautiful quilts to honor veterans such as yourself. And Susie has been with us a number of presentations. And Susie, I think you would like to make this special quilt presentation to Rob and probably add some more words about your organization and that quilt.
Right. Well, Quilts of Valor started back in 2003. A lady by the name of Catherine Robertson was in the DC area. Her husband was stationed there, and she had a son who ended up being deployed. So, as all mothers do when their sons and daughters are deployed, you know, she was quite tense. And those of us who make quilts find that quilt making is our therapy. So she was introduced to another young man at Walter Reed. And so she decided she was going to go home and make him a quilt. And she did, and in connection with chaplain, they awarded it to this young man. And in talking, she said to the chaplain, well, what more can I do? And he said, make more quilts. So that's how Quilts of Valor got started. And her vision was that it would be a tangible little something to, you know, wrap. She actually apparently had a dream about, you know, a quilt. You know, first she saw a young man sitting on his cot, punched over and everything, and then the next time she saw this same young man, he had a quilt around him. So that added to the whole flavor of what inspired her. And so to date, as of the end of March, well over 269,000 quilts have been awarded. And that's it. They are an award. They're not something that can be bought or sold, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime award, and it's our way of just grassroots saying thank you for what you have done for us and making it possible for us to, you know, have the freedoms to do what we love to do. And as I like to say, it's so nice to have a channel to funnel my, you know, my love and passion of making quilts, because of course you can only make so many for your family before they say stop already. So it's a creative process. It's the fellowship of getting together to sew, which of course we have sorely missed. You know, we're just now starting to get back together once a month to sit and sew and chat and share what we do. So with this, each quilt has a label on it that tells you who made it and who has quilted it, and I'll write your name on it. I brought my special pen to do that. But it's our way of saying thank you for your service. Help me there.
We got a tall guy here too if you need it. Oh, wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's so nice.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
That's great.
So much time. Isn't that beautiful?
That's incredible.
Each one is unique and different.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. That is awesome.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
You like scrapping.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh,
So
it's
what
beautiful.
we do is normally we do a lot of, you know, much more up close, but this time
No, it comes around your shoulders.
put it around you.
Thank you.
And normally it would be a better hug than this, but
I'll take it.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
service and welcome home.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love this. Thank you. It's nice and warm.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we say. It's, you know, it shouldn't be viewed as something to hang on the wall. Although, of course, if you want to, you can.
It's cozy.
But we make them with the intent that they be used. They're thoroughly washable and dryable, you know, and all of that.
We will honor that
intention. We'll make sure we get good use out of it.
Good, they're good snuggling.
Thank you. I do like to snuggle, don't I, honey?
I was going to say, this is actually a very good depiction of what it's going to look like
Yeah.
when he uses it.
It's me in the morning every day, getting ready for work,
Yes.
trying to wake up. Thank you so much. I'm so, so appreciative. Thank you. Yeah.
There it is.
Do you want something under that, Susie, or are you good? Okay. You've got this down to a science, I know.
Yes, ma'am. Tesmond, T-E-S-M-O-N-D.
The third.
All right, we'll put the third on
Instructions from the boss.
Good
Yes.
It's true.
Well, I think his dad would want him to.
Yes.
there. Probably. And that way Robbie can't try to claim it.
So happy to be here.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome.
That is really nice.
Rob, we would invite you to say a few words if
Absolutely.
you'd like.
You can keep that on if you like. and
Yeah.
then-
I'm actually gonna hand it off to my wife for a second because
Okay.
I've learned from coaching that I'm not very good at impromptu speaking.
Before you do that, why don't you remove your
Yeah.
mask and then you can add
There we go.
a smile even.
I've been smiling the whole time too, I promise. First of all, thank you guys so much for this. As I was telling you guys, I don't always do great with things like this. It's hard to have attention, and but I'm super grateful and super honored for the Rotary Club, Dick, and for Alma and Susie for your organization too. I'm really so appreciative of this. We were talking about how hard this year has been, and so you can imagine something like this has just been an incredible feeling. And luckily, you know, I've known about it for a couple months now, so that feeling has been nice, and it's lasted for a couple of months too. So thank you all so much. I honestly can't claim any of the things that you guys have said that were so nice without the example that my mom and dad had set. My dad, especially being a World War II veteran, really instilled in me that wanting to do something for my country. I couldn't have done it without my wife, who was there from. I'd been in the Marine Corps a year and a half when we got married, and she was my rock and my foundation that entire time. As you can imagine, a lot of emotional, mental, physical challenges, and I got to come home to her every day, who would lift me up, you know, heal me, send me back out. My kids have been incredible this whole time too, with being understanding and knowing that the sacrifices they're making are going into the time I put into teaching and coaching, and so appreciative of them. The whole reason we're here is because I'm a veteran, and I joined when I was 16. Went to the boot camp when I was 17 with this vague idea of wanting to do something for my country, but also not having any clue what I wanted to do with my life. And through that, I was able to find out that I really wanted to teach, and I really wanted to serve my country by investing in our future. And so it started off with this whole idea of protecting what our country had, and it turned into doing something where I wanted to make our country better. And so I have the Marine Corps to thank for giving me the confidence, the courage, the opportunity to see some strengths that I had that I hadn't seen before, and also for introducing me to the idea of diversity. We grew up in a very, one-note sort of suburban town, and the first time we'd been around people from other cultures, other parts of the country, different dialects, different religions, everything, and we just embraced and loved that diverse community so much, and we're so glad to be in a place like Naperville where there is a lot of diversity, at a school like Mattia where there's a lot of diversity, and I love that so much, and it was because of the Marine Corps that I had that opportunity to be around people from all different walks of life and appreciate the human beings, our fellow citizens, the people we share our country with. And so thank you guys so much for all of that, and I'm super grateful for the Marine Corps for giving me those experiences. And so I'm glad that you have seen something that they have done for me that has allowed me to give back in some way. So thank you very much.
Hoorah!
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Rob.
Thank you so
and
much.
On behalf of the Rotary Club of Naperville and the 115 members that are represented here today by us, we really do offer you our grateful congratulations, and as Susie said, another welcome home.
Thank you. I actually feel proud. It's it's not a feeling I often allow myself to feel. So thank you so much. You guys have made this really, really special. And I
You should
appreciate
feel
you.
proud.
Thank you.
And by the way, I will be sending you electronically, and I might even follow up with a phone call, but no guarantee. This event, along with the other 4 veterans,
Right.
we will be having this on a Zoom meeting on May 20,
Yes, sir.
and we'll send you the connection details to tune in.
Perfect.
So I will get that to you. And on a personal note, your comment about, serving while your wife was around and helping you reminded me, strange things come back to you at different times. I can remember very vividly, I was on a 2-night, 2-day, 3-night, 3-day, 2-night bivouac out in the boonies of Georgia. And Georgia is red clay. And it was, excuse the expression, crappy red clay that got on everything. And when you took off your helmet, there was a definite line. Everything below the line was red.
Right.
And a little bit above, even back then I had some hair. And I came in and I was just absolutely beat. I was married at the time. And I came in and kind of crashed with my wife in the apartment that we were living in. I couldn't get bachelor office quarters because we were married, and that was only for bachelor offices. And the following morning I woke up, my wife had cleaned my boots, clean uniforms, all
Wow.
of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it's those details that you ladies do for us that just are phenomenal. And to her that was a little thing. To me that was a huge, big thing. So God bless our wives.
Absolutely.
That's a great story, Dick.
Brings tears to my eyes.
It kind of does to me too.
I fought back some too, not gonna lie.
Well, that's the kind of day today is, and I just hope you know how sincere we are in the reasons that we're here today.
Okay, you get
Good afternoon. I am Alma Jones. I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Naperville, and I'm honored to be here today with Dick Galitz, with Carol Anderman from the Quilts of Valor organization. And it's such an honor for the Rotary Club of Naperville each year to partner with the Quilts of Valor as we honor 5 veterans in the community for their service. And today, it's an honor to be able to award, along with the Quilts of Valor, Paul Harris Fellow and veteran, Jack Mouse. And so we're here to honor him for his service. And on behalf of the Rotary Club of Naperville, we want to say thank you for your service. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mr. Dick Galitz, who is the chair of the Rotary Salutes Veterans Program, RSVP program, that we do annually. And not only is Mr. Galitz the chair of this committee, but he is a past Rotary District Governor, distinguished gentleman, as well as a veteran, too.
I am honored to be here with you, Jack. It's a special pleasure. As I recall, you're an Air Force veteran with a very unique background, having played with the Air Force Band. And perhaps you can share a little story about that with us.
Well, I spent 1969 through 1973 with
I think your wife would like you to remove your mask, so go ahead and do that.
with my earrings. Start again?
Oh, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I spent 1969 through 1973 with the Falconeers, which is the official jazz band of the United States Air Force Academy. We actually weren't there very much because we were on the road many months out of the year. And particularly during the Vietnam years, we were very busy playing concerts, recording radio shows, things like that. It's a wonderful band, and I was privileged to be a part for not only their friendship and their musicianship, but their kinship, which exists yet today.
Out of curiosity, how did you travel? Were you on board Air Force cargo planes, or
Yeah.
were they regular passenger planes, first class wine and
Oh my.
meals and such?
No, we were on 119s, 118s, what they used to call Goonies, which were C-47s. We were, the pilots were all Air Force Reserve pilots. And they hauled us all over the world in those things. With the web seats, you know.
No flying flight attendants asking
My
how you
whole 4
wanted your
years in the Air
steaks.
Force, I was never on a jet.
Interesting.
Wow. Wow.
And typically, how long would the flights last?
Depending on where we were going, we did some work in Canada. Those were long flights we flew out of Peterson Field in Colorado Springs. And we spent a lot of time in Los Angeles and in Las Vegas. We were all over the country. We did a little bit of touring with the Thunderbirds, the Air Force flying team. It varied. We didn't have any overnighters. We didn't have to stop somewhere and stay. We flew right straight through to wherever the destination was.
So a typical flight to, say, Germany or Vietnam would last how long?
You know, we never went to Vietnam. We were scheduled to go and do a series of concerts there, and at the last minute they canceled it because the location was under fire. So we were all glad to stay home.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Oh, it was a great band. The bands during the Vietnam years, they call those the golden days of military bands. The bands were so good because the draft was still active, and I'm proud to say that the Falconeers, to this day, a lot of people say that was probably the best Air Force jazz band that was ever put together, and I was privileged to be a part of it. Those guys were amazing.
Did you ever have the opportunity of playing in Washington, D.C.?
Oh yeah. In fact, we played for all the presidents. A lot of the presidents would come in for graduation day at the Air Force Academy, and we would play the dance or whatever. So we got to see a lot of dignitaries. We got to meet the first African American 5-star general. He came to the academy for graduation, Chappie James, and he was just magic. He was one of the most gracious people. He didn't treat us like enlisted people.
As an officer, I'm not so sure I can relate. So what was your most favorite memory?
Oh, wow. We went to Los Angeles to record an album, and they brought in guest artists. They brought in Sammy Nestico, who was Count Basie's main arranger. And in fact, we played some of that music before the Basie band did.
Mm.
Dick Nash was on that session. He was a great studio trombone player, and the biggest name that was there was Herb Ellis, who was the guitarist with Oscar Peterson when he had a quartet together, and we did some recording with the King Sisters while we were there. That was quite a thrill getting to play with those guys, I think we were out there about 4 days, and just threw the album down. The album's called Sketches, and there are sketches of all of us in the album cover that they took. So it's pretty cool.
So it would not be fair of me to not ask, what was your least pleasurable military experience?
we had gone back to West Point to play the dance. Air Force and the West Point football teams were playing. So they took the whole squadron back there. They took the marching band, the concert winds, the Academy strings, and the Academy drum corps, and the Falconeers. We were going to play after the game for the dance. And we finished up, and they flew us back there on a couple of 124s, which they used in Vietnam they were double-decker planes, and they used them in World War II and Vietnam to transport tanks, jeeps, the heavy vehicles. And I was up on the upper deck, and all of a sudden the plane started into a nosedive, and there were, I think, 47 guys in that particular plane, and everybody got sick all at once. It was, and the story I got was that the autopilot on the plane had gone out, and the pilot froze at the wheel, and you could see the ground coming up, and the squadron commander was he was an officer, Major Thurston, I believe his name was. I went through a couple of those, but he was a trained pilot, and he rushed up there and pulled the plane up, and it was like on a roller coaster. It went straight back up again. So we spent 7 hours kind of holding our noses, and I was never so glad to see an Air Force base in my life is the fact that we got through that. But that was a harrowing experience. We were on another flight on a T-29, which was a training flight, and had a young lieutenant flying the plane, and he flew in. He had a friend with him. He was going to show him the Grand Canyon, and he flew into a box canyon and had to turn the thing on its side to get out of there. I have a picture of our guitar player holding a cup of coffee, and the cup of coffee is there, and the cup is there, and the ball of coffee is up in the air. So, you know, I wasn't real fond of flying on Air Force craft, but they got us where we needed to go.
Well, on a more pleasant note, I think Carol has got a very special presentation for you, Jack.
I do. Both organizations was founded in 2003 by a lady at a military hospital, and she had befriended a veteran, and she made him a quilt. And she was talking to the chaplain later, and said, well, what can I do for these guys? And he said, make more quilts. And so she started talking with her friends and came up with the organization, and to date we have awarded over 260,000 quilts in all 50 states and other parts of the world too.
Oh my gosh.
So we keep making them, and we love to do it, and we're very thankful for your service, and we love to honor you
Let's see it.
with our handiwork. So.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I got the whole thing.
Oh, Carol, that is such a work of art.
That is beautiful.
That is just incredible.
How long does it take to make one of these?
Oh,
After 250,000 of them, you can do it in your sleep, right?
well,
All right.
for your service. Well,
Thank you.
it's it depends on the pattern. It depends on how long you
How tall I am.
work on it each day. Well,
This is just gorgeous.
we generally try to keep the sizes of the quilts about that size, because especially if you're awarding a bunch of them together, you don't want to have one guy getting a huge quilt and one guy getting a tiny quilt.
Sure.
So.
Well, this is magnificent. This is just an incredible work of art.
It goes with your eyes.
Well, and do use it. It's cotton. It washes.
Oh, one
you
of us
know.
will.
Please use it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I might recommend, there's a lot of red in there, I might recommend the first time you wash it, or whenever you wash it, put some color catchers in there. But other than that, it should be
This is
fine.
beautiful.
And going into the corner.
Oh my gosh.
I'll let you
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
do the honors on that.
It's awarded to you, and then the name, this name here is the one that pieced it. That's the one that takes all the fabrics and cut them up and comes up with the
Oh
pattern.
my gosh.
And then this is the quilter, and she's the one that puts the stitching in.
My gosh.
What a lovely, I'm speechless. It's just gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Thank you, we're glad you appreciate it, and we certainly
my.
appreciate your service.
Oh my. It's just,
I wish I could give you a hug, but we're not.
I know.
I know.
We can do an elbow bump.
There you go.
We'll hug later when this is all over.
Right, there you go. And generally, that's what we like to do. We like to wrap you in the quilt and give you a hug, but we're not supposed to do that right now.
This is, I'm very honored and humbled by this unexpected turn of events. Who'd have thought?
Well, on behalf of the 115 members of the Rotary Club of Naperville, who partner with Quilts of Valor, I'm grateful for you and your partnership. On behalf of our club, we'd like to say thank you again for all the partnership that you have with our Rotary Club, but certainly today for your service. And please know how grateful we are.
We're grateful to have been a part of all that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yay!
How delightful.
It is.
How about a still underneath that tree?
Again, I'd like to express my gratitude. And I want Janice here next to me because well over 50% of everything we do, she's a part of. And so I wanted her to share this moment with us. And I want to let everybody know how much fun we've had working with Rotary. I come from a Rotary family. My father, Tom, was a Rotarian in Emporia, Kansas, and my mother was a Rotarian, and if they were here today, they'd be extremely proud and probably a little surprised, but I remember my younger days with my father and my parents being involved with Rotary. And it's been such a privilege to be a part of what the Naperville Rotary Club has done. We've been involved in a lot of programs. Alma, we've done the Little Friends Project. We've done Project Runway, Jazz Quilt. And I got to tell you, enthusiasm is contagious, and what Alma and Brian and all the folks that we've interfaced with in Rotary, the enthusiasm they bring to the projects, you guys have got enough enthusiasm for 3 Rotary clubs. It makes things so much fun and so easy to do, and we're talking about more projects coming up, so stay tuned because we're not done yet. Thanks again.
Exciting day, and it's a wonderful day when the Rotary Club of Naperville is able to work in conjunction with the Quilts of Valor Foundation to award a quilt to a veteran. And it's a wonderful day today, especially when you, Benny White, as a veteran, have helped us so many years present this Quilts of Valor Rotary Salutes Our Veterans program. So what an honor it is today for us to be able to turn the tables and honor you for the service that you've given to our country. It truly is an honor to be here with you.
Thank you.
So with that, I'm going to introduce Mr. Dig Galitz, who is a distinguished Rotarian, a past district governor, a veteran himself, and the chair of the Rotary Salutes Veterans Program, to say a few words as we proceed.
Excellent.
Penny, it truly is an honor to be with you today. It's an honor to be with you any and every day, actually. So special thanks to you. It's an honor also to be with Jane and Susie, two of our Quilts of Valor ladies. So thank you, ladies, for being here. And Benny, I've got a couple questions for you.
Uh-oh.
One that has intrigued me for years. I came into the service through an ROTC program, and in that program we were allowed to select 5 opportunities for Uncle Sam's Army, and I must admit I did not get my first choice.
Right.
But it's always intrigued me that I thought maybe a West Pointer got a first choice. Did you choose artillery as your selection number 1?
I did choose that one. Actually, I may have had signal number 1, but they have to take the academy graduates and put them in each branch. So depending on where you are with your class rank, will help determine what choice you get. So for me, field artillery was probably my second choice, and that's what I was blessed to be able to select, and I haven't looked back. Never looked back.
I would ask you to remove your mask because I love that beautiful smile that you that you regularly have.
Thank you.
So what was your favorite assignment during active duty?
Oh, I would say absolutely. My very first assignment, we were stationed in Germany. At that time, it was West Germany. And I've met my closest friends. Some of them are even here today. And we've been in close ever since. That was back in 1988, and they're here right now. So that just gives you an indication of how special the military has been to me, and the friendships and relationships I've been able to form. But the cool thing as well is, while we were stationed there, we actually were there when the Berlin Wall came down back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was an exciting time to be in Germany. And to watch how the country came together. They won the World Cup. It was just an exciting time to be there. Yeah.
You were married at the time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My wife Kim and I, we've been married for 33 years, and that was our first duty assignment. And I know she definitely enjoyed it and had an opportunity to travel a little bit and go crystal shopping over in Czechoslovakia at the time, and so there's just a lot of wonderful things you can do while you're stationed over there in Germany.
And total number of years on active duty?
22 years and 2 months. Not that I counted every month, but yeah, 22 years and 2 months. Yes.
And you retired as a lieutenant colonel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's very impressive.
Well, the Army was very good to me and good to my family, and I talk about it all the time, and I love promoting the military. And folks have questions if they're thinking about doing it, enlisting, or going in. As an officer, I'm always open to talking to individuals, especially our young people, to give them any advice that I can give them.
You say the Army was very good to you. I might add, you were very good to the Army.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Those are kind words. Thank you, Dick.
So what was your least favorite time? Was it when you were qualifying as a parachutist?
Well, that was probably my scariest time, if you want to use those words, as far as that was concerned. I don't know if I really had any bad assignments. We made the best out of everything. We were at Fort Riley, Kansas, in the middle of Kansas. A lot of people do not want to go there because it's in the middle of Kansas. It was one of my best assignments because I had great people there, and of course, us being from Kansas City made it a little bit easier as well. But the Army and the military in general is all about the people. So, I mean, you can go to the best place, go to Hawaii, but if the command atmosphere is not great, you just won't enjoy it. You can go to one of the worst places where people would think, but if you meet good people, it makes the assignment worthwhile.
Seems to me you also have some kind of a football tie to Kansas and West Point.
Well, I did play. I played football at West Point on the Army team. So an Army-Navy game, all those great and wonderful things, rivalries was awesome. But the fact that I grew up in Kansas City, which is maybe where you were going with that question. I'm a huge Chiefs fan. I know Alma's a huge Chiefs fan. We're all from the Kansas City area. It's awesome.
Anything else you would like to add about your service time?
Again, it was just meeting just great wonderful people, and I'm not sure. Will I have a chance to talk later on, or
right now?
Right now is it? So for me, I would just say this place where we are right now, the 9/11 Memorial, is just really means a lot. This is sacred ground as far as I'm concerned, based on everything that occurred there. Commander Genauer was killed in that attack at the Pentagon. My friend Tony, who's actually holding the camera right now, was actually in the Pentagon on that day, just on another side of the building, so he can relate to exactly what happened during that time. And I remember where I was. I was in Kuwait, waiting to fly back to the States, and wondering what was going on at home. The buildings are smoking. What's going on? And we all know what happened after that. But needless to say, all the air traffic was shut down, and I was stuck over in Kuwait for about an extra 10 days. But I'm just honored to be standing on these grounds right here.
You've continued your service to our great community of Naperville. Would you care to make some comments about it?
Well, sure. I've been, the military probably kind of brings this in me, but I've been a service-oriented person since I've been in the military. And it's funny because I initially had no ambitions of making an entire career out of the Army, but once I got in, and the people that I spoke about before just made it really worth its while. So it really kind of developed me from a service mentality. Since I've lived here in Naperville, I've served on the Board of Education in Indian Prairie 204, and currently on the Naperville City Council. Just was reelected a couple of weeks ago. Woo! All right, real happy about that. Campaigns are a lot of work, but City Hall is right here, and we just have a wonderful city, wonderful community. I love my city, and and what we're doing here, and we're just doing our best to continue to move Naperville forward together.
Well, the whole reason we're here is for these ladies to present you with a quilt of valor.
Oh, excellent.
So, ladies.
Well, thanks. Well, just to tie in the fact of the setting where we're at, 9/11 is really the thing that started Quilts of Valor, in that Catherine Robertson, a nurse, was in the Washington, D.C. area. She had a son who ended up being deployed, and obviously was concerned about, his safety and everything. And through her contact, she was introduced to a young man who was pretty severely injured, who was in Walter Reed, and so she went home, and as quilters do, when we get upset, we make quilts. It's our form of therapy. And so she made the quilt and came back and spoke with the chaplain and asked what more she could do, and he said, make more quilts. And thus Quilts of Valor was started in 2003. And as of today, the round figure number of quilts that have been awarded to worthy veterans from all branches and all conflicts and whatever is in excess of 270,000. So it's just great to have this channel to, focus our love and passion of making quilts, because, as I say, you can only make so many for your family before they say stop. But the creative process does not stop because they say stop. So that's one of the things that we find is most rewarding. And of course, being able to present the quilts for people who have put themselves out in ways to make the life that we lead possible. So it's just a small way for us to say thank you for what you've done, wherever you and however you have served. Some I've had people say to me, well, it's not that important. Yes, it is. You've got to make the entire machine run. You need all those little cogs along the way. So we just are so thrilled to be able to award you this quilt. Beautiful.
Isn't it?
And the fun thing about this one is that it's got, of course, the label on the back, and you probably remember Rita Pennington. Well, Rita was involved in making this quilt.
Oh,
That's always kind of fun to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So, on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation and those of us in Land of Lincoln Quilts of Valor, we are thrilled to provide you with this to say thank you for your service, Benny. Welcome home, and we're just so thrilled.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So enjoy it. It's fully launderable, so
He does the laundry, so there you go.
So we expect it to be used.
What?
So
He does.
A colonel?
He's the laundry guy in our house.
Oh yeah.
How many stars does she have?
More stars than I'll ever have. Yeah.
But he gets to watch all the football he wants as long as he does the laundry. So there you go.
Actually, I like to refer to her as a sergeant major, but to ensure things are happening.
Good point.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Command Sergeant Major.
Oh, absolutely. But thank you guys so much. The quilt is spectacular. It's beautiful. I love the fact that you all you honor our veterans the way you all do. But there's a forgotten group out there sometimes, and for us veterans to be able to serve and do our thing. For those of us who have families, my family's just been spectacular, and they've sacrificed a lot. Tina is here with Tony. She understands that as well. But my wife Kim, my daughter Logan, my son DJ, they've moved around. We can pick them up every 2 to 3 years, and we go to this place, go to that place. They're really the unsung heroes for all of us that have served. So I salute you all. Thank you all for being here and for everything that you guys do.
Welcome. It's really fitting that Tony and Tina could be here today. When Kim told me that they were, I'm going to get teary, when Kim told me that they were some of the first friends that you had in the military, I thought, what an absolute perfect day that was meant to be today would be to have them here. So I really, really thank you for being here on such an important day. And on behalf of myself, a big Benny White fan, and on behalf of the 115 members of the Rotary Club of Naperville, we really want to extend our gratitude to you for all the things that you've done to serve our country, and certainly for all the things that you've done to serve this community and to serve us as an organization. And we can't say thank you enough.
Well, thank you all. Thank you so much. It just, I am extremely honored. Being the person who MCs this during Veterans Day week and honoring those other veterans, and now to be on the receiving end of the quilt just really means the world to me. So thank you all for honoring me this way and for honoring my family as well. And wonderful job with this quilt, ladies. It's beautiful.
All right. Well, it's a delightful day. It's an exciting day today for us to be able to honor you. I am Alma Jones. I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Naperville. And on behalf of our entire club, we thank you for your service to our country. And we are very grateful to be able to be here today with the Carol Anderman with the Quilts of Valor Foundation, and with Dick Galitz, who is a Rotarian in our club. Dick is a past district governor of Rotary. Dick is the chair of the Rotary Salutes Veterans program that encompasses this program, and as well is a veteran. So we're very happy to have him directing this program for us, and it's just an honor for us to be able to be here with you today. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Dick Galitz to say a few words about the program, and then to Carol. So Dick?
Jennifer, we're truly honored, and Scott, truly honored to have you with us, and especially honored to have Riley with us.
Yeah,
If I remember correctly, Riley is all of 8 months old.
just about. Yeah, just a few days shy.
As a Marine officer, would you qualify Riley as a grunt?
She definitely does a lot of grunt things. She's on the floor a lot. She likes to be down low to the ground and crawl around on all fours. So she's right up that alley.
I bet you would like to remove your mask so we can see your
Yes.
beautiful face and smile.
Scott, you can take yours off too.
Well, you're still got the beautiful one, and Scott's just there.
Yeah.
Did you guys meet in the service?
So we actually met in high school, and we both went into the service after college. So I'm Marine Corps in Scott's Army.
You have a very interesting military career.
A little bit, yeah. I started out enlisted, and I deployed twice, once to Afghanistan and once to the Horn of Africa, Djibouti. And then after that, I pursued the officer route. I finished my college degree and commissioned as an officer in the Marine Corps. And then just a few months ago, I was promoted from first lieutenant to captain. So I've been in about 11 and a half years now. So.
How would you compare being an enlisted soldier to being an officer?
So it's a lot different in terms of the responsibility, in terms of leading the Marines in my charge. But I have a privilege and an honor to serve and lead the Marines that are in my unit. So it's a privilege, really.
Do you find life much different?
Different in the sense that I'm not necessarily the one doing the hands-on labor, but I do a lot more of the planning and overseeing how things are done rather than being the one doing the work myself. So I'm more of a management position in the officer side. So.
How could you compare your probably 8 weeks? I'm a former Army officer, so I'm presuming 8 weeks of basic training as an enlisted Marine.
So for when I was enlisted, it was 13 weeks for enlisted boot camp, and then 10 weeks for officer candidate school. And it was different in the sense that when you're enlisted, it's more so do what I say exactly how I say it really fast, whereas the officer side, you're being evaluated on your leadership abilities and not necessarily, do what I say. It's, hey, what would you do in this situation? Because at the end of the day, it's the officer's responsibility to lead. They're enlisted, and at the end of the day, they're responsible for whatever happens. So it's much more of a screening process on your leadership abilities rather than your fast-moving Marine yelling hoorah type abilities on the enlisted side. So I enjoyed both my enlisted career and officer career.
And how many NCOs as a captain in the Marine Corps would you have typically reporting to you?
So currently I have 6 NCOs, and then I've got some additional junior Marines underneath. So I'm about to move to a new unit, so that'll change. But as of right now, that's what my unit is.
And how often do you go through active training, weekends, number of weeks during the summer, etc.?
Yeah, so once a month, I go away to, my old unit was Kansas City, Missouri. My new unit is actually in Hialeah, Florida. So I'll be flying down there 1 weekend a month. So usually 2 to 3 days a month, and then 2 to 3 weeks in the summertime or fall, depending. So altogether, it's once a month, and then for a 2 to 3 week block.
How about deployment?
If the Marine Corps says they need me, I'm ready to deploy, and that's what the Marine Corps needs me to do. That's what we'll do.
How about qualification on weapons?
Yeah, so once a year we do our qualification on for the officer side, it's M4 service rifle and the M9 pistol. And so once a year we go to the range and we make sure we're proficient in that. So sometimes more frequently, but that's the requirement that once a year we qualify.
And what has the Marine Corps taught you in terms of being a good civilian and being a good American?
Yeah, so I would say service before self. You don't necessarily think of that when you think of people joining the Marine Corps. It's more so like, oh, you're going to go be a Marine, you're going to fight wars and battles. But I've learned a lot in terms of being an NCO, having been an NCO and now an officer, about taking care of others, service to others. And I've really tried to live up to that in my time in the Naperville community, being part of the American Legion, the VFW, the Women Marines Association. So all of those organizations continue to serve the veteran community as well as the civilian community that we're a part of. So I take great pride in that, and being a continued public servant, maybe not a public servant, but a servant to my community and to my fellow veterans. So.
You become very involved with a special project over at Veterans Park.
Yes.
Would you care to share about that?
Yes, definitely. So we are currently in the process. I serve as the chairwoman of the Gold Star Memorial in Naperville, and so that is actually a 6-foot tall granite monument that's going to be built this fall. We're hoping it'll be completed, and it honors Gold Star families in the Illinois area. And a Gold Star family is someone, it's a family, whether it's a mother, daughter, husband, wife, son, immediate relative of someone that has given their life in defense of our country. And so it's the families that bear the burden after their loved one passes away in service to our country, and it's our obligation to make sure that their sacrifice as the family members is continued to be honored. So that'll be in Veterans Park right off Gartner Road. Like I said, hopefully by the fall it'll be built. So we're right in the home stretch of fundraising for it.
Would you care to add any other comments?
I think that about sums it up. I will say that I'm very honored and blessed that you all chose me to receive this quilt. Very humbling. We have so many veterans in our community, and that you considered me worthy of such a wonderful and beautiful honor. I can see just the detail and love and care that went into it from here. I can see that it has a lot of meaning to it, and very blessed to be receiving it. So thank you.
What a great transition.
Okay. I'm Carol Anderman from Quilts of Valor Foundation. The Quilts of Valor Foundation was founded in 2003, and a lady was working with a military hospital and befriended a veteran and made a quilt for him. And she got talking with the chaplain and said, well, what else can I do for these veterans? And he said, make more quilts. And so she made some more quilts, and we got some of our friends to make some more quilts, and started a foundation, and a lot of us started making more quilts. And we have now awarded, in fact, I looked it up last night because we just awarded her son his quilt, and we're up to 269,000 quilts.
Wow.
Since 2003.
That's amazing.
And we have awarded quilts in all 50 states and some places around the world too. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I know we are active in all 50 states.
Wow.
So we love what we do, and we thought this is a great way to honor our veterans, and so this is your quilt.
Wow.
So
that's beautiful. The wind picked it up just right.
I'm going to pick it up and show it. Of course, it's going to show it to you rather than showing it to the camera. So
isn't that beautiful?
Wow, the detail and the time that went into it. Wow.
And then what we really like to do, and this is a little bit different with COVID, but I'll try to kind of stay wrap our veteran, and we usually give you a better hug than that. But and thank you so much for your service. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your support, and again for finding me worthy. Again, it's very humbling. It's beautiful, and maybe one day it'll get passed on to Riley. It'll be a family heirloom.
Well, and do use it.
Yes.
Use it. I mean, it's cotton. It washes. I might suggest a color catcher when you wash it because red tends to bleed. But
right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, and in a corner is your name, and of course, U.S. Marines.
Oh wow! Thank you. So it's personalized.
Marines, but yeah,
It is.
There's a corner someplace.
Here it is.
There we go.
Oh wow!
And
Oh,
it
that's
has,
beautiful.
it has your name on it, and has the person who pieced it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the top, and then the person who quilted it has these stitches that hold it all together.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so
Isn't
much.
it lovely?
It is. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, on behalf of the 115 members of the Rotary Club of Naperville, who live by the way, our motto, service above self. And I think it's quite fitting that you mentioned that service before self is something that you subscribe to as well. I think it's very fitting that that our beliefs align. And so with that, I would like to say congratulations, and that we're pleased and honored to be able to honor you this way. And we thank you for your service, and we thank you, Scott, your husband, for your service as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Riley, you've been a trooper.
She's happy as a clam. She just wants to be a part of the action.
Talk about a good girl.
That's her. It's little Riley.
Well, and May is the month of the military child, so Riley's falls right in that category. The sacrifices that they make too, you know, the family. And
Sure.
I've been away from Scott for multiple deployments, and he's been away from me for multiple training exercises. And so
Wow.
it's a privilege to serve. Absolutely. There's not everyone qualifies for service, but to serve our great country is truly an honor and a blessing. So, and having the support from our community is immense. So thank you.
It's critical.
It is. It is. So. Thank you again so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.